Music as a narrative. How does that even work? Hey, what's up? Usman here. And to be honest, I'm not that great with words as it comes to telling stories, as it comes to, really making something feel alive. But what I can do is tell a story with my music. So I want to show this video about how you can set a certain theme with your music. And since I'm working on a video game, I think it's a great example to use that, because I've done a lot of themes for this video game. And the cool thing about it is that same with a movie scene or with a movie, you can use the music for this medium to tell a story. You can make it feel really happy, you can make it feel like there's nothing going on. And of course, it doesn't only involve making music for games or for media, but also for your own music, because what I like to hear the most in music is when there's like a certain theme in a track, and that's what you might also hear in my music a lot. But the cool thing is when you make something for picture or make something for a game, there is a certain story to be told. And I want to show you 3 examples of how I use this in my video game. The first place where this is being told is in the prologue, which is basically the place where the actual story, in short, the main narrative will be told, the main premise of the whole game will be told. I will first let you hear the first version, which sound like this. And as you can already hear, it doesn't set like an emotional tone, it more sets like something like there's something coming, but it doesn't give you a certain emotional feel. And this is how it actually sounded in the second version. As you can hear in the second version, there's much more of a gradual approach from the start until the end. And the main theme of my game is there's something evil coming, and the evil is trying to take over the good, and the good needs to prevail in the end. As you can hear how I did it, I actually have the humanity is like the piano and the violin in the beginning, and then those darker industrial sounds, they are sort of the enemy of this short piece. As you can hear throughout the whole song, you can hear that darkness is coming and approaching. And I'm using reverb and I'm using volume automation to gradually fade away the piano until the end. And when in the end, the final note is just the piano only, which is basically showing the whole progression in the game in just a short 1-minute piece. And that's something that I really like. And it's something that you can do in your storytelling in games too, or in your storytelling in your music too. So that's the first thing I wanted to show. The second thing I wanted to show is actually the first exploration music that you will come across in the game. And I've learned this when playing Breath of the Wild. It's a Zelda game. You can set a certain feeling without using too many notes. It's actually that silence between the notes which actually leaves a lot of room for interpretation. So let's have a listen to this next piece and see how it evolves. As you might have heard, the music is really flowing. There's a lot of open endings, and that's mainly to give the player a sense of walking through the forest, exploring, seeing what's already happening in this new world that they have discovered. There's not too much certain direction into good, bad, or evil, or tension building. It's just a real open feel to let the player be acquainted with what they're actually gonna play. And that's again something that you hear in music as well. A great example for this is The Revenant, which does this really well with those big string notes, with a lot of silence in between where you can hear the footsteps. And that was actually one of the inspirations, aside with the Zelda one, for this piece. The third piece of music that I want to show today is actually the main music for the city of Real, the main city of the game. For this piece I really want to set the tone of the city, of the humanity, how they are evolving. It sounds really sci-fi, but it also sounds more like in the middle, like it doesn't sound like there's much happening yet. People are just going about their business, but I did put some nice emotional stuff at the end. It's more of like a treat for the player if they spend a longer time in the city, which usually they won't do. They just want to go sell their gear, buy new stuff, and then talk to quest givers, and then go back exploring. But I think this is just a great way of tell a story without having to write a lot of dialogue. So let's have a listen to the theme of Real. By the way, guys, if you want to be part of a really cool community, I do have a Discord below in the description where I share my knowledge, I share sounds back and forth with my Discord members, and we will be doing some live streams soon as well, which is a really cool way for me to interact with all of you guys. I also have a Patreon where I share monthly sounds, where I also do teaching, one-on-one sessions. That's a great platform if you want to get some fresh sounds and also learn something along the way, and in turn help me as a creative out financially, which is much appreciated. Finally, I also have a video game that I'm working on, Wrath of the Mad King. If you want to be notified whenever something important happens in the development of the game, head over to the Steam page also below and check out everything that I'm working on there. I hope this gives you more of an insight how you can tell a narrative with your music, how you can tell a story without having to use your words. And you can, of course, do this with your big room music, with your EDM music, but also if you want to go more into film scoring. It's a really cool way to just dive a bit and think a bit deeper about music. But that's all I want to share with you this video. If you like what I do, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next video. Take care, bye bye.